I have been thinking a lot about lessons recently and why I seemingly have to keep learning things in like loud lessons in a big way. I'm like, could I not have just, had the intellect to be able to pick up on this from a more subtle situation to have to be this like entire waterfall moment? But no, apparently I could not. I mean, I feel like there are so many subtle moments throughout the day where we are picking up pieces of information. And so I'm maybe just discounting those as lessons. But when I think back to some of the biggest moments where I've had huge insight about how I operate, how I can show up better in this world for me and others. They haven't been the easiest things. They have been loud moments. I'll take you back to this time. Can't even remember what year it was. Late 20 teens. And I had been invited to the movie premiere of The Grizzlies in so-called Vancouver. And I was able to invite my team at the time and also a couple of my friends. And we went to see the movie, and I was completely, unequivocally, fully embodied a mess. I don't even know how to put it into words. The movie had barely started. And I could see so much some of the people that I worked with and see their lives and feel the pain in the movie and feel the pain of the folks watching it and feel some of the pain of those that I worked with who I know who have been through similar situations. And this is not to say that the movie was all about pain. It's an incredible story and there's so much hope in it. But in that moment, I was completely overwhelmed. I had no control, no emotional center at all. I was just like a sponge picking up on everyone else's emotions. And I was full on sobbing in the movie theater, full on controllably sobbing. My team had never seen me act like this. My friends had never seen me act like this. Obviously, they're, extremely empathetic and loving folks, and they were all like, what do we do in this moment while this movie is playing? And the movie ended, and I had to be like helped out of that theater because I was sobbing so much and I sobbed uncontrollably the whole drive home. Someone I think drove me home. I don't even remember. And then I got home and I could not stop crying. I gave myself a migraine. And then I vomited for 8 hours with the worst migraine of my life. And as I was trying to come back to life the next morning, I was not going back into work. I was like, what the actual heck happened? And I don't even remember how I went from that to like the exact steps, realizing I was an empath, realizing that I can pick up on other people's emotions, and then actually coming across, see, it's right beside me at my desk, the Empath Survival Guide. If you are what people call sensitive, pick up this book. It is a game changer. But um, I remember shortly after that messaging one of the elders I worked with to share this experience with her and tell her that I thought that I was maybe an empath. And she responded, "You didn't know that?" It's like, no, I guess I didn't. And then I was like, maybe should we just get on the same page? What other things do you think about my identity that you know, just to make sure that I know them too? She didn't respond to that, obviously, to learn these things for herself. But I often reflect on that moment because I was like, did it need to have been so loud? Did I like not hear all the little could I not have put together the little pieces? Because there were little pieces before then, but apparently I couldn't. That is what I needed. And so my point is that sometimes I feel like we're really hard on ourselves for the way in which we learn our lessons. And I don't want us to be hard on ourselves for that because I feel like the self-hate, the shame, the guilt is not helping us. It's like reinforcing us to stay stuck, stay in the past and stay small. And what I would encourage us to do is to refocus and be like, okay, this needed to happen and figure out why. What is the lesson? What are you learning from that? And how are you applying that moving forward? And know that you're going to be tested. And it just is how it is. Sometimes I wonder if the test is like, did you really learn that? Sometimes I'm like, is this because like I'm just going to have to like learn this forever? No, you're just going to have to, you're going to maybe have to reinforce a couple times that you understand this new part of your identity and you're showing up for yourself in a different way. Now, speaking about being empathic, one of the things that was transformational for me and learning how that's a gift and how I'm able to like show up and interact in public without feeling completely annihilated by everyone else's feelings is to do daily energy clearings, this and many other things. So we have our physical body, and then we have our um, energetic body. But what can happen when we're moving around in our day to day is that we pick up on other people's energies and it sort of gets stuck. If you imagine us almost in a bubble, gets stuck to our bubble. Best way I can explain this is have you ever been in like great mood and then you walk into someplace new, you walk in the room and you're in like the worst mood ever. You're like, I don't get it. Like literally on the other side of the door, I was great. I was great. That could indicate that you are an empath and you're picking up on the energies of the room. And so, in those situations, I take a moment and I clear my energy field. And I have a really short visualization that I've recorded for you that is linked below that you can listen to too as a daily practice, a nightly practice, whatever you like, to regularly clear your field so it's just your energy. Because it can get hard to discern what is yours and what is others if you aren't um, engaging in that type of energetic hygiene. So do check out the energy clearing. Do be kind to yourself when you are going through lessons and try to just have gratitude for them. At least know that at some point you will have gratitude for them, regardless of how much crying and maybe how much vomiting you do. They are there for a reason, and they are going to make you a more whole person. I also wanted to share if you haven't had a chance to check out my Nourish membership, that might be something that might be supportive for you because we offer different holistic well-being practices weekly, offer channeled intuitive guidance for the collective, how to work with the energies weekly, two monthly astrology ceremonies. And there's an energy clearing in that and an abundance meditation. So if you want to check that out, the energy clearing, there is an energy clearing in that. Okay, go forth and just be in your own energy, learn in your own lessons.